Yeah, brother, you just made me think of something, and I never really thought that I would say something like this. But how important is it for unjabbed people to get together and start reproducing just as a counterweight to what we know is coming, but how it'll be implemented? We don't know. Like I never thought, I don't advocate just random reproduction, but when I think about it, and you tell me what you think, the people we dealing with, I've said this before, are literally the personification of death at their core, the essence of what they are. They do what they are. In essence, when we're in our right mind, we are the personification of life. How important is it for us to simply, in essence, do what nature calls for as a counterweight against the ongoing and upcoming genocide?
All right, so let me say that to answer that easily. In 2018, we did a lecture called Straight Black Pride. That's what it was, Straight Black Pride 100-year plan. We did it at our, I forget what year it was, anniversary. It was an anniversary of the Straight Black Pride movement in Atlanta at the House of the Black Madonna. So I want to say this, and we want to move because now we know on what the threats are. We want to move on to what we're going to do. But I do want to say this, and it's very important. It's becoming more and more critical today. A part of the homophile assault is to divide black men and women. And part of that assault is to attach themselves to the mind of black women and turn black women from seeing a war, black against white or Arab or Asiatic, to a male war against females and a female war against males. It is a concept called feminism. It's the intellectual form of lesbianism. It's what in the mind, it's the idea that a black woman should be looking for what she needs as opposed to in a man, in a female. So what she should be looking for as a complement in male energy, she now is taking on male characteristics and looking for the female, which is the complement of the male. We're talking about a state of psychological insanity that is creating devastating impact in the black community. Why do I put it here? Because this is not me. This is Dr. Nathan and Julia Hare. That's right. This book was written in 1984. The Endangered Black Family, Coping with the Unisexualization and Coming Extinction of the Black Race. And talking about this thing that we're talking about now, I want you to hear this. This book was written in 1984. They said that in 1976, late in that spring, about 500 black women hold a conference at the Berkeley YWCA house. The hidden agenda expressed by conference leaders and voiced openly at the climax of the meeting is to find a way for black women to begin to find alternatives to black men. So at the end of the meeting, they said, this is what we're trying to do. Black women, you don't need black men. The answers proposed are white men and homosexual reinforcements. They were telling, this was 1976 where they met to start telling black women, what we want you to do, we want you to go to white guys and other females.
That's right.
This is not something that happened all of a sudden. They go further. They said in 1977, now listen, I want you to understand this is very important. It shows targeted warfare. This is not from any random group. This is from the Carter administration. Federal government funded. In 1977, the Carter administration funds the ERA conference in Houston. Many black women who until now have remained suspicious of white women and uneasy with an agenda that is not of their own making will begin to join the feminist movement in leaps and bounds. This is especially true, understandably so, of black lesbians, but also of integrationists of every persuasion. Remember, Dr. Chancellor Williams told us about integration, key element in the destruction of black civilization. Integration destroys. And so what we see here is a targeted effort to create war between black women and black men, where in this case, for whatever reason, they picked the black woman to enter her mind in this particular strategy. You can get that DVD online. You get the electronic copy. I think it's $20, $25, something like that. You can get the hard copy. Watch that. In that, I want to show you how far ahead of the thing we were.
in 2018, in that lecture, the 100-year plan, we said, because we know they're going to be involved in chemical biological warfare, we need to triple our population globally. I'm going to say it again. In the lecture, the 100-year plan, we discussed tripling our population, understanding that chemical biological warfare is going to be part of the design of mass genocide, and our survival depends on us being able to outproduce their destruction.
Officials in 2 Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks of a new infectious disease that's mysteriously appearing across the region. Severe Epidemic Enterovirus Respiratory Syndrome 2025. Over the past 6 weeks alone, there have been 500 confirmed or suspected cases reported. The virus could cause a severe pandemic if early containment and mitigation efforts are not successful.
The pandemic in this type of situation and trend would be a risk for the global health security.
Pandemics are inherently political, financial, and so much broader.
We have not spoken on the leadership in country. And I think that we need to be also very careful. We cannot decide a lot of things without the leaders be involved and agree on that.
There is no substitute for national leadership.
It's important to support the local response or the national response.
Training those that are in these areas first, enabling them with the tools, protecting them, and if needs be, regional solidarity first.
At this stage, communication is key, and communication should include not just scientists with data, but also social, religious, and political leaders.
Trust. This is an essential issue, and trust was broken among countries, between populations and healthcare systems, between healthcare systems and governments.
I'm very sorry to say that in 2025, we need to strengthen the health system.
WHO needs to be a voice for the voiceless.
No one is safe until all of us are safe.
As of today, there have been an estimated 1 billion cases worldwide, with more than 20 million deaths, including nearly 15 million children. Countless millions are alive but left with paralysis or brain damage. The most successful countries are those which invested in preparedness and trained for this moment years in advance. This included having full-time pandemic preparedness and response teams, which conducted detailed operational planning and routinely tested those plans through exercises and drills. If more countries had participated and heeded the guidance, the toll might have been much less.
Today, I want you to go into the mind of a general. A general. A general does one thing. He looks at a battle that he's facing, or she's facing, like Mama Winnie Mandela. And they say, here's where we are today. Here's where we want to be. This is what it's going to take to get there. So I want you to put your mind in a visionary mode, because what we're talking here today is not a bunch of tangible things. Some of it is, but the reality, we're talking about where we're going to go, and we're not incorporating our feelings in this discussion of how we're going to get there. We're going to take a high-level perspective of a 100-year program. We always, the white folks plan for, when we do all that talking, okay, well, we're going to see what's real, because today, we're going to lay down a 100-year program for black people. All of the pieces, you're the ones that feel the pieces. This says where we are today, where we want to go, and those high-level things that we have to access and understand in order for us to get there. Are y'all with me?
All right.
A 100-year program. Let's take a look at it. We're going to start right here. What does the general population of black people around the world look like today? Roughly, these are all estimates. 45 million black people here in North America. Roughly 50 million in Brazil. Now that 50 million can get real tricky, because it can be 14 million to 114 million, depending on how the mulatto class decides to identify themselves. But we're going to go right to the middle in Brazil and just say roughly about 50 million black people. About 8 million in Europe, about 100 million, they're more, but about 100 million that kind of know that they're black in Asia. They're more. And roughly between 0.75 and 1 billion black people on the African continent. So altogether, we're looking at generally somewhere about 1.25 billion people, between 0.7 billion and 1.25 billion people. We don't have exact numbers, but we're looking at where we are today. So y'all with me so far? Yes. All right. Here's the 100-year program, 2018. What is the world going to look like? 2118, I'm sorry. And do me a favor, could you ask everybody to keep it down in the back? I think I got something, I think I got the most important thing to say at this particular moment. I think so. We have 50 million here, we're gonna triple that. 150 million on this continent. South America, 300 million. Europe, 15 million. Asia, 250 million. On the African continent, 2.3 billion. To be clear, when we say 2.3 billion, we're not talking about 2.3 billion people that live in Africa. We're talking about 2.3 billion people with black mothers and black fathers who live on the African continent. Everybody with me?
So the simple answer to your question is yes, we need to be doing it. I'm not getting into the practical nature of being prepared to raise the families properly and all of that. All of that, none of that changes. We're just talking about math now, about survival.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_ONE. And the Cash App is $DCRadical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. A beat before ODA and straight black pride.